Well, now we turn to a story all about amphibians. For the past 33 years, the Iowa DNR has been working with scientists and volunteers to survey wild toad and frog populations. It has created one of the largest and most unique data sets for these animals. And now the state's DNR is accepting new volunteers to help in those efforts. Joining us to discuss this is Stephanie Shepard, Frog and Toad Call Survey Program Coordinator. Stephanie, thank you so much for joining us. I wanted to start with what these volunteers do. I mean, once you're trained, how do you collect all of this data?
Yeah, I want to start off by just thanking all of our current volunteers and saying what special people they are. And our volunteers are trained to go out and they run a frog and toad route. And that route includes a number between 5 and 10 wetland sites where frogs and toads might live. So they drive along the route at night and stop at each of the sites and then just stand by their car and spend 5 minutes just listening. And they're trained to be able to identify all the frog and toad species by sound. And so they record that data, identify what species are using a wetland, and move on to the next site. And they do this 3 times throughout the summer. So it gives us a really nice idea of what wetlands are being used and by what species. And as you said, it's a really long data set, which is pretty unusual.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What is the significance of the data set this program has created over the last 3 decades?
Yeah, amphibians, which includes frogs and toads and salamanders, are of concern conservation-wise globally. They have a lot of threats and a lot of challenges that they're facing right now. So it's important to kind of get an idea of how their populations are changing over time. And this 30-year data set lets us, look at each of the species and how they have changed over time, how they've changed in response to things like climate change or habitat changes and stuff like that. So it's really valuable in us knowing what's going on with our frogs and toads. And that also tells us a little bit about how our wetlands are doing as well, since they're so important to those frogs and toads.
And talk about how many wetlands these volunteers, these monitors have covered over the last 30 years, because the number is outstanding.
Yeah, and of course I don't remember the exact number, but
No.
it's over it's many hundred. It actually may be over 1,000 at this point. So, and every year we cover, I think last year we covered 820 wetland sites volunteers did. So, yeah, it's a really significant coverage of the entire state, and they're amazing people.
I'm not trying to one-up you, Stephanie. I'm repeating the words that you had written
Okay.
in an article. It is over 2,200 wetlands over the
Okay,
last few
thank you.
years, so outstanding. If someone wants to volunteer, there are some Zoom training workshops coming up in March. What do you cover in those meetings?
Yeah, and the trainings, they're a lot of fun, actually, I think. So we spend a good part of the time learning about frogs and toads and learning their calls. So each species in Iowa can be identified by their unique call. And so you learn how to recognize those calls and what species is doing what. And I think it's a lot of fun. We try to have fun during the workshop. And then, of course, you learn how to do the survey.
We only have a few seconds left, but Stephanie, out of the 16 species found around Iowa, do you have a personal favorite frog or toad
So
call?
yeah, I love the gray tree frogs a lot. We have two species, and you can only tell them apart by their call. They look identical, but they're the ones with the big suction cups on their toes that you find stuck to your storm door at night. And they're just really cute, and I love their calls a lot.
Well, I won't make you imitate it. We'll save that for the Zoom
Okay,
classes.
thanks.
Stephanie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
If you guys at home want to sign up for a frog and toad call class, we have all the information on how to do so ready for you up on our website right now. Just click on the As Seen on TV tab.